What we got is a 2010 Chevy Camaro. With the Chevy Camaro, we are going to run the speaker wire. We're gonna bypass the switch. We're gonna make a switch right here, so that way if the radio turn on and it's making a noise, loud noise or something, we're gonna use the loud noise only when you turn off the car. It gives you this loud, very loud noise. So we're gonna cut it off before we turn the engine off, if that's the case. But we just run just to make sure, and then we're gonna run it through here and through there, and everything else is hooked up in the back right here. The battery is in the back. You lift this up. You lift this up right here. There. And you got a battery. You got a positive and a ground. I'm not going to use the ground from there. I'm going to make a ground somewhere else. I'm going to run the power wire right there up to the top right here. And I'm going to use high-low converter, LOC, out here, and hook it up to this speaker right here. The dark brown and yellow. Dark brown as a positive and yellow is a negative. So that's how we're gonna do it. This is an A&L fuse. I'm gonna use a 80 amp fuse. But when you open that up, you're gonna see this port right there. See the middle port right there? That's for 8 gauge. But I'm gonna have to take this off to make it to a 4 gauge because he's using a 4 gauge kit. Most of the fuse holder are 4 gauge and 8 gauge. So if you're gonna do a 4 gauge, you gotta take that metal piece off. I'm gonna take that part off. You can see it's bigger right now. That way I can put this 4 gauge wire right in that hole and tighten with an Allen wrench. Like I said, most of the fuse holder are different, so I'm not really gonna go detail on it. But this is an A&L fuse holder. By putting the wire in, you want to make sure this copper right here doesn't stick out, because if it does stick out, it could touch the ground. It will short up something. Make sure it's all the way in there, so when you put this slide back in there, it's going to cover like that instead of the wire sticking out this part. That's the most important part about installing a radio, is making sure the wire is not touching anything. So now I'm doing the other side of the battery. You want to make sure it's about that long, less than okay, pause it for that. So what I do, I usually strip this about 1/2 inch. You don't want to be too much or too less. See, I'm going to show you what I mean by that middle one right there. If you try to stick that in, it won't go in because that part is so small right there. So I'm going to take that out. Shake it a little bit. Try not to get it all the way off, because sometimes it's hard to put it back in. So don't forget this part right there. Push that out, because that's an 8 gauge. Yeah, 8 gauge harness. So you plug that back in there right there. See, 1/2 inch should be perfect right there. You don't want it too short or too long. Too long is, it will touch the copper. It's gonna come out, and then the short one, you're gonna hit the rubber, and then you're not gonna get a good current flow. So I got that. So now I'm gonna put the A&L fuse. Thought I had it here earlier. Okay, the other side that I used. So basically, I'm gonna loose that part a little bit, push that in. Tighten it. Make sure it's tight, or not too tight, but tight. And push it back like about that much, and then tight, like clockwise. And then I'm ready. On this part, I'm gonna have to tape the use the black tape and tape the other end to it in case something touch. And then I think that's a 10 millimeter. What I'm gonna do, I'm just stick enough wire out like that. Make sure this is taped so nothing will short anything. Have the wire down here. Oops. Pull this wire in here like so, and use that part because that's a good part right there. As you can see right there, just go along with that power wire, go along right there. It should be good. And then I'm gonna put right there. I'm gonna put it right now because 10 millimeter should be. Yep. Usually I don't like the. Usually I cut this, make it like a fork type a little bit, not too big, not too small. Make just enough size to put it in there. And then tape it. Put these back on. Like that. Put it back down. Use that wire. Like that. You see that wire right there? I'm gonna tape it. Zip tie it. Tie like that, push, zip tie it in, tie it one way, could have gone the other way, it's easier. Nope. Use the, well, we're looking from this way, it will be the right side. Try to use it on the right hand side. And leave it like that, that should be okay right there. And now, see the wire sticking out right here. So now, depend on the speakers. I'm doing a 12-inch speaker right now. He's got a big box, so it won't fit in here. These cars right here, all the Camaro, usually you can fit a 210 or the short, or like a split 10, like a dual 10 or a single 10. That's all you can really put on here unless you build your own box, and that'd be hard because from here to here you got only like 14, and the box you're gonna need about 14, so it'd be hard to fit in the Camaro. Almost any Camaro I've seen, it's hard to put a 12 in there. So I'm gonna make a ground right here, right there, because I'm gonna keep the amp around here. Actually I'm gonna put the amp on the. No, I can't put on the box because he's gonna put a box right there. Let's see if I can figure out, see how the power wire run through right there. So you don't wanna stick to here. You could, but you gotta be careful where you're gonna mount it back. You mount it, if you run any screw through here, you're gonna short something out. You don't wanna do that. My best bet is probably right here, because if I open this up again, you can see right here, it's not going to affect anything around here. From here, if you lift it, right here. So the customer's amplifier is this amplifier right here, that's precision power. Oh, it doesn't have any place to mount, so he's missing some part. So That's not good. So he might have to have something Velcro, like a double side tape Velcro, and keep it around here. So I'm gonna plan it this way. I'm gonna put the amp looking like this, right this side, and he's gonna have to buy some Velcro and use it right there. I'm gonna put the power run back there, and then I'm gonna ground right here. What I'm gonna do, I'm trying to sneak in there a little bit, and I'm gonna put the ground right there, because the ground hard right here. Put the ground right there so you can really see it. Now, I got two south tappet screws I'm going to put it in. You don't want to use one because it will move eventually when the bass vibrates. So I'm going to put two right back to right there. One. You see, it's not moving right now, but after a while it's going to move. If you have two, it helps. Alright, I got power right there. I'm going to move it back this way a little bit. I'm going to start from the inside and work with it. Okay, well, this is an old amp. I'm not sure how old this is, but I'm sure this precision power is probably approximately, I am not sure, you can comment on there, but I think this amp is, from what I remember, it's about 12-13 years ago. They use a flathead for the speaker part, an Allen wrench, so I say about 12 years ago. I'm not gonna use this wire, it's too thin. So the power that I ran right there, you got to remember the amp is going to be right around here, so I'm going to kind of work it like this, make sure they got enough wire, so in case if they want to move it down here later on in the future, they can be moved. So I'm going to cut it right there, and then I'm going to strip out half an inch. I'm going to flip this over, use an Allen wrench. I think this is a red part, the positive side of the batteries, but I'm going to check it, just making sure. Always make sure that you got the right, yep, that's 12 volt right there. I have to take it all the way out because I am flipping this upside down. I never installed something like that with an upside down power acoustic. See, once you got this, you can push it all the way and make sure you're not tighten the plastic or the rubber part, the insulation, I should say that. Make sure you hit the metal, because if you hit the insulation, you wonder why your amp's not working. So I got that part, which is 12 volt. You know, literally you can pull this thing out too, but it's too hard to pull out. I'm not gonna do that. Ground should be less than 1.5 feet, but sometimes it's okay for 2. Depending on how big the amp is. So I got the ground right here, but before that, I'm gonna skip to the high-low converter, which is line out converter. I always say high-low converter, or some people call it LOC. It's called kisloc2 and made by Kicker. I love Kickers, so Kicker's my main brand, and they've been good to me. So, well, actually I should have done the speaker first. I'm gonna hook up the yeah, let's go up back and do the speaker wire back. What I'm gonna do, this is a left speaker. I'm gonna try to get this off first. It's easy sometimes. Push this button right here and pull it down. Come right down. Take a knife. Strip it. A lot of people will strip this. I'm not. I'm gonna use a a T-tap. I'm gonna T-tap this. Brown is positive and yellow is negative. Got it? Make sure it's too long, so I cut it out. Now, I'm gonna put the red to the brown, yellow to the ground, and plug it back in like that. Make sure the wire is not gonna be all over. I'm gonna use it, the ground, and go right by the ground. Hopefully it's not crazy noise, but I'll go back that front. Now, as I was talking about earlier, what I got is the speaker wire that I ran earlier from the speakers. I'm gonna get the ground hooked up with the ground right here, because this LOC, which is high-low converter, wrap it like that. Loosen this part for the ground. Make sure it's in there real good. Not all the way in, because you don't want to hit the plastic or the insulation. Oh, I missed it. I know why, because it didn't come all the way out. See how it's only hit right there earlier. Push that in again. Ooh, it's getting hot. It was 49 degrees with the wind chill. Well, not the wind chill. The wind is about 15-20 miles per hour. It make it really cold this morning. So Ohio's got some crazy weather, like a 4 season in one day. Cold, snow, rain, whatever. So I got the ground hooked up, and then now this is weird right here with this amp. You got to figure out where the remote at. So you got positive, negative, and the remote wire is in the middle. Oh, they're missing a screw, so I might have to man, I have to bridge it or something. That's one part about bad part about installing a used product. You don't know what you're dealing with until you're doing it, and then you're like, oh, it's missing this, it's missing that. And I'm pretty sure I don't have nothing like this, screw like this. So got that, and then let me see if it's bridgeable. Oh, it's bridgeable. That's good. So I'm gonna go to can you see this? I got white, black, and then gray black on the negative side. Use long enough wire just in case. Got a butt connector. I'm gonna grab me a butt connector. Alright, I got red. Whoop. I got red wire, which is positive. I'm gonna hook it up to the white and gray. Solid white and solid gray. That's for the positive. You don't have to put both sides. Then now I'm gonna do the other one, which is black, white, black, and gray, black. Yeah, Now I'm gonna put ground. The ground, which is the black wire from the speaker, which is the yellow, you're gonna hook up to the negative side. On the speaker wire is black, and then the brown from the speaker, which is red, going to the positive side, which is to the white and gray. And then that's it for the high-low converter. I'm gonna hook up a speaker. He got two speakers, which is a dual speaker. I'm gonna bridge that. I'm gonna grab some wire. I'm gonna just loop it like this. I'm not gonna cut any of these yet, because on one side is shorter and one side longer. I'm gonna cut it a different length later once I got the speaker out here. So now I'm gonna strip that. You can buy this at Home Depot for about $45, the crimper right here, or use what you have. I mean, you can buy a cheap one for $10 at AutoZone, the junk one, but I wouldn't do that. Now you got to figure out which one's positive, which one's negative on the amp output. So we got positive on the right side and negative on the left side. I forgot, I haven't used this forever. Flathead to do the speaker, that's crazy. Push it in because you don't want to miss the wire. Tighten it. Same thing. No wonder why they don't make this no more, because it's difficult. Everybody use a Phillips and Allen wrench, and you can be able to see if you hit the right wire. I can't, but I'm making sure it's not going to come out. So I got all that done. I'm gonna flip it back. I'm gonna hook up an RCA jack, which I'm gonna do a 1.5 is too short, so I'm gonna do a 3-foot RCA jack. On this part, I'm gonna be using this amp is weird. I gotta make sure I push the mode. You don't have to show right here. It's an LP, which is low pass. You have to put on low pass. If not, you're gonna burn up the speakers. You're gonna run it back over there. Should get everything done right now. Now I'm gonna plug the jack right there, and I'm gonna put the speaker back in with the help of my son, and then we're gonna, this part we might need it later. This is what I was talking about, a shut off part. It's a switch, work as a switch. So okay, you can pause it. The hookup is not final yet. I'm gonna make sure everything working before I zip tie and everything. So go ahead, turn it on. It is on? Oh yeah. Sound pretty good. Start the car up. Start the car. See, and then close all the door first. We're gonna start the car and close all the door, and then we're gonna shut it, see if it make that noise. Oh, it's a stick shift. He don't know how to do that part. Hold on. This is a stick shift, so it's a little bit different. You want to step on the left side, which is clutch, and make sure this is on neutral, and then start the car. The brake is on. Alright, that's the sound. Okay, we got sound. What is your name?
Kane.
Kane. Hey, yep. Kane. I got this thing installed, and you want to hear how it sounds?
Yeah.
He just paid, so got a receipt right here. So Let's see. It's got a loud muffler, some sport muffler. He had to put the speaker box in the back because it's a 12-inch. We can't fit in the back. This kind, you got to put only a 10-inch speaker. That's the only way you can put it is the 10, or you have to custom build. Sounds really good. I cannot play too much music because they're gonna cut me off. What do you think?
Love it. Sounds awesome.
All right, well, I'm glad you're happy, and it does sound pretty good for an older amp. Yeah, that's an older amp. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for your business.
Thank you.
Yep.
You guys take care.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.